Hey. I am Monty Love, and I am here for y'all.
Yes. And I'm Brandy Gamble, excited to talk today with all the ladies. Yes.
I'm Carolyn Leak, and man, we got something to talk about today.
Yes, we do.
Mm.
This is Rosalind Marie, and welcome to Freedom Friday.
Freedom
Okay.
Friday.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about business ownership, or I should say the power of business ownership, right?
We got a clip that we're going to play because it speaks to all the things that we talk about. Why it's so important to think about not just having a job, but actually having a business, even if it's a small part-time business, right? And you build it up to actually have that ownership to create generational wealth. So go ahead, Rosalind, let's play that video.
All
Yep,
right,
the video is by Lee Allen, the stewardship coach.
Yeah, Lee Allen Jenkins.
Lee Allen Jenkins. Let's go. Let's see.
let's see.
Black people need to stop being single generation consumers. Yes, I said it. And you've probably heard the saying, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. That's a great statement, but I want to change it a little bit. How about this? Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. That's a handout. Teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. That's a good job. But help a man to buy his own fishing pond and you will feed him and his family for generations to come. You see, that's the power of business ownership. Jobs and paychecks can't be passed down, but businesses and assets can.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Wow.
So let's dive into his whole conversation, because the first thing that he said was Black people need to stop being single generation consumers, right?
Mhm.
Think about Black Wall Street and how many times the dollar circulated in that community before leaving. But now the dollar in the Black community does not even circulate a whole time. Not once.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Man, I think it's less than it's a couple of hours, I believe, right? In our community. And so what I find often is that we leave it there, right? There's so much information out there that talks about how our dollar does not circulate in our communities. But I'm gonna challenge. Hey, let's challenge people to shift that, right? Because that is our purpose as far as the exit strategy are concerned. We want to give you tools that you can put into place now so that we can debunk that conversation. We want to shift the atmosphere. I go to Black businesses. All of us here as an exit strategist, we all have Black businesses, right? And we support each other in business. And so we have to put specific measures and plans in place so that we can change that, right?
Yeah, it's about being intentional, about being intentional. And I know we're talking about business ownership and we should have a conversation about that, but I think we also need to talk about the power of our community, like how powerful we are when we come together and we support one another. That's how Black Wall Street was built, because we were supporting each other's and all the businesses that were available, right? We were keeping the dollar, but today we just don't support each other as much, right? And what is that reason? Yesterday, we were having this conversation in our car yesterday with my two daughters, and one of my daughters asked, well, why is it, why is it that it's so hard? And people had, everybody had kind of their own opinion. Some say it's conditional thinking, right? We're conditioned to not support each other from slavery days, and it just passed down generation after generation. Some people say, it's because we just don't understand our power, and the Black or the white, goods and services are better, right, than the Black goods and services. And some people we just don't trust. We just don't trust, right? So, I mean, everybody has their own opinion. I think that's a whole nother conversation, though. Like, why don't we support each other? But if we focus in on business ownership in general, man, it's just so much conversation to have there.
And you're right about that. The trust thing is because we've been conditioned not to trust one another, It's that. So we have to break that thought process. I would change our mindset, right? We have to get better because we're going into the mall. We going into Gucci. We buying Gucci. We keep in Nike. We keep building their generation. They got hundreds of generation of passive income that they never have to work, right? Why can't we put that back into our own family, build our own children's lives, start preparing that so you look back and say, you know what, my great-great-grandmama made this, or my great-great-grandfather made this happen for us. But we don't have that mindset. We have gotten out of that since Black Wall Street, right? And I don't know what the theory is, but it's the fact that we don't, and we need to change that mindset of ours, is that there's a Black business. I live in a small town, right? And there's rarely a lot of certain things. I'm looking for a contractor. I'm looking for a plumber. You can't find them, right? And if you do, the word is, oh, he charged too much.
Yeah.
Right. And so we have to get out the mindset and start utilizing our people.
It's conditional thinking. I want to read an excerpt from our book. That's what I pulled it up because we're talking about the dollar circulation, because he is that stewardship coach said the dollar doesn't circulate in our community. We have single circulation for generational wealth. Listen to what I wrote in our book.
Okay.
I said, when we examine prosperous communities from the 1900s, such as Greenwood, also known as Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Haiti District in Durham, North Carolina, we witness a remarkable display of community spirit. These communities pooled their resources, provided opportunities, and became accountable to themselves and to one another to recycle revenue within their respective communities. They became successful and self-sufficient with a dollar circulating. Listen to this, y'all. A dollar circulating their community 36 to 100 times. What? 36 to 100 times is how much the dollar circulated. And sad note, plug here, go get the book, y'all. There's so much good stuff in here. Go get our book, Design Your Wealth Mindset by The Exit Strategy. But listen, anytime that Black Wall Street had the wherewithal to come together to cause the dollar to circulate within their community 36 to 100 times, that means, now this was after slavery, this was after all of those things. So they were able to come out of the mindset. Why would we in today's society allow someone to put us back into that mindset? Why? Go ahead, Brandy.
I think it comes down to that trust factor and committing. You said committed to themselves and to each other. Yeah. That we have to commit to support each other. I think that's why a lot of people don't get in business, especially in our community, because they're just unsure. Are we going to be supported? And they try it. Some people do try. They'll step out on faith. Then don't get the support, and then they got to close their doors, whether it's support from the community or support from outside the community, right? Yeah. It's just not enough support there. So I think, if we can commit to ourselves and to each other to support each other's businesses, it makes things a lot easier for us to get in business.
Thank you, Brandy. I'm going to hop in here because you said something really significant. You and your daughters were having a conversation in the car. And guess what, y'all? That is actually where it starts. We have to start within our own families. We have to start within our own communities. Again, whether you have children in your family or not, there's children all over. There's a next door neighbor that has a child that you can have a conversation with, right? When we in the grocery store, there's children all over. You know what I mean? That's an easy way to start those conversations. But if we don't have the conversations, they're non-existent. right?
Right.
And here's the thing, we want to debunk again that myth that we can't do it. We've done it. Unfortunately, oftentimes those seeds have been pulled up from the ground from those scenarios that Monica just mentioned that's in our book. You want to definitely go to Amazon and get our book, or we'll actually leave a link at the bottom so that you know how to access it. But you want to understand financial literacy is number one, and you can't follow just anybody. Even Lee, the brother that we just shared earlier, that is what he does for a living. He is a financial professional. All of us are financial professionals, and we're held to the law. So we can't just tell shit. Now we can share with you illegal information, but we can also go to jail. And I'm not going to jail for anybody.
Okay.
So, but at the end of the day, we got to make sure that we educate each other, and we have to share reputable sources, but we have to trust each other to help us move in the direction of creating wealth for what? Not just us, but for our children,
Generations to come.
children.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I want to make 2 points here. One, that Morgana would say, she's not here today. Hey, Morgana, because I'm sure she's going to watch the episode.
That's right.
But Morgana likes to quote, wealth is a mindset before it's an asset.
Absolutely.
The brother mentioned that we were taught, give a man a fish, he eats for a day, teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And then he said, have this man not only know how to go to another somebody's pond and fish, but to have his own pond.
His own pond.
Have his own. Listen, we're talking about next level wealth creation so that we don't have to consistently depend on someone and worry about, y'all gonna get me for this, worry about somebody taking our Black jobs. Right?
That's right. That's right. Yes.
It's a truth that have systems in place.
Yes.
What is
I don't know what you're talking about, Monica. I got a Black job.
I got a Black job.
Yeah. I got a Black job, and I hire other Black jobs. And everybody else, if they want the opportunity.
You want a Black job? Come on.
We got some Black jobs for you.
See, this is how we act when the cameras are off, y'all. But whatever. Listen, we have to be, Brandy's word, intentional. And that's my word for the year, is being intentional. A lot of times and too often, we just, because we know how to fish, we just go throw the pole in the water, right?
Yeah.
Let's learn how to create systems, or better yet, I misquoted that. Let's learn how to get into a business that already has systems established. Honey, listen. What is a system? A system is where you save yourself time, energy, and money.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's where something has already been created, tested, tried, and true. And now you are able to manage these systems, put these systems in place, and start making money for yourself, and create something that you can pass down from generation to generation that can continue to build.
And not only that, but also offer that same opportunity to other people to do the same exact thing, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say, take our example, right? All right, the 5 of us, the Exit Strategists, we came together and wrote an Amazon bestseller called The Design Your Wealth Mindset, right? But I want to take it further to say, find something that you can dedicate your time in and build it. Oftentimes as entrepreneurs, and I am one, and I would consider myself to be a serial entrepreneur because I've had several businesses over my lifetime. But the reason why I ventured into business, because I did not want to stay on that one Black job, right? I wanted to find other ways. We talk about multiple streams of income, but you have to find at least that one path and stick on that one path and get really good there instead of jumping around to this and that and that. And what we do know is that focusing on financial services is one of those ways and one of those opportunities that you can really get on the right path. And guess what? You come to the right place, because we can definitely help guide you in that.
Absolutely. You know, with financial services, what I learned in getting into this industry is it not just gives you an opportunity to learn money or to help other people with money, but actually to learn it for yourself and your family. Like you, no matter how many businesses or where your income is coming from, now you get the knowledge. You got the knowledge to be able to manage that money differently. So financial services it's a win-win no matter how you look at it.
Exactly. Teaching my son how to do that at an early age. And as an adult now, he got it. You know, he'll go back and say, Mom, you remember you told me this? Yeah, I remember that. So what did you do with that? You know, so and you go back and say, well, this is what I'm doing. So he have learned from an early age. That's what we need to do. When we're in the room talking about finances, make sure you bring your children along.
Right.
Make sure they're involved, because this is a family thing. This is not an individual. What it says, single-minded, right? Can be a single-minded consumer, right? So let's bring the children along in the room so they can understand that. And when they become that age that they're on their own, earning their own money, that they know how to manage that they're not out there continue to spend, giving Gucci, giving Nike, giving every other consumer their money and not building enough something for themselves. You know, setting that money aside for your children's college education. So when they come out of school, they're not in debt, that they got to take a job just to pay off these student loans. No, let's not do that. Let's start preparing them now for that, so they don't have to feel that debt coming out and they can go straight into what they're doing. So that's what we have to plan for that, you know? So this, again, I'll get off on a tangent. Y'all go ahead.
It's about training up a child, right? In the way that they should go. Yes, absolutely.
Amen.
Having something that's tangible that they can have, that's their own, and that they can pass to their next generation.
Exactly.
You know, teaching them how, you know, we hear about, I'm in the Detroit market, you know, the Ford family. Why can't it be your family's last name, you know, who is the wealthy family in the community? Why not?
For sure.
And Monica, we've said this in the past, right? You don't have to come from a wealthy family to actually be the wealthy family. You yourself, right? A wealthy family can come from you. Absolutely. So, you know, one of the ways that we can build wealth that, you know, people sometimes I think take lightly is life insurance. You know, why are we're so negative towards life insurance, right? Or we don't understand the power of it, so we go buy term policies that eventually will expire. You know, life insurance. We got to be more serious about it and understand more about it, for sure.
It's all about education because, again, mindset. We were always taught to just get enough to bury the person, right? We were always taught if we have that much, it's just, oh, I ain't trying to get rich from somebody passing away. You're right, you're not. But at the same time, the person passed anyway. So why not have something left over so your family no longer has to struggle?
For those kids that you have that passed away, that those babies are now that everybody got to chip in because that breadwinner is no longer here. So that breadwinner, and those kids are still coming up. You got family. You got that's an income that you were relying on. It was 2-income family, or maybe he was the only breadwinner, or she's the only breadwinner. But that happened. Something happened. So why not make sure your family is protected in the end while you're gone? Continue to protect them. Continue to give what they need.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, I don't necessarily come from the financial industry. I come from public health, and I specifically work with moms and expecting families. And one of the reasons why I got into financial services is because I saw a lack of information and education for us to cover ourselves. I have conversations with my parents that are expecting babies, right? But the generations are there, right? I'm also connected to the grandmother. I'm connected to the auntie, you know, and we have those conversations because one of my first questions to them is, are you going to make sure that you insure your baby? You know, you can get a policy on your baby at 14 days old, right? You want to do that early. That's probably the least expensive policy you could ever get on a child, and you're already creating that legacy when they are newborns, right? But with that also comes the question of, does mom and dad have a policy? And so we want to be able to help you with that. So make sure that you connect with us. Make sure that you share your story of wealth building, because maybe you're doing something that we don't know about, but we would love to know more about what you're doing. But we also have the resources to be able to help you and your family do the same.
Collaboration is the key.
It is.
Good conversation, ladies. Great conversation. Oh my gosh, right? Go get the book, Design Your Wealth Mindset, for sure. And follow us, subscribe, reach out to one of the exit strategists so that you can dig in on this education for yourself, because it's all about you, right? And what's right for you. And we want to help you to design that. So this has been awesome, y'all. Thank you.
For sure. What I'll offer, one more thing, Brandy, in addition to that, you may have a small business. You may have an organization. You may have a faith-based organization, a church or a mosque, right? The exit strategy is here, and we are available to speak to your group. We're available for in-person events as well as convenient online events. So make sure that you reach out to us so that we know how to meet your needs best. But thank you all for joining us, and have an amazing Freedom Friday.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.